Hey everybody, almost done with The Case for Christ, and I can't believe it, but the author just proved Christianity is false. It's probably going to be a little bit long video because I want to read y'all the whole passage, but he just acknowledges there are contradictions, and one single contradiction disproves biblical inerrancy. So let me read it to y'all. I can't believe he actually admitted it. So, okay. In Matthew, when Mary Magdalene and the other Mary arrived toward dawn at the tomb, there is a rock in front of it, there's a violent earthquake, and an angel descends and rolls back the stone. In Mark, the women arrive at the tomb at sunrise, and the stone had been rolled back. In Luke, when the women arrive at early dawn, they find the stone had already been rolled back. In Matthew, an angel is sitting on the rock outside the tomb, and in Mark, a youth is inside the tomb. In Luke, 2 men are inside. In Matthew, the women present at the tomb are Mary Magdalene and the other Mary. In Mark, the women present in the tomb are the 2 Marys and Salome. In Luke, Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James, Joanna, and the other woman are present in the tomb. In Matthew, the 2 Marys rush from the tomb in great fear and joy, run to tell the disciples, and meet Jesus on the way. In Mark, they run out of the tomb in fear and say nothing to anyone. In Luke, the women report the story to the disciples, who do not believe them, and there is no suggestion that the women meet Jesus. And John conflicts with much of the other 3 Gospels. In some, the accounts of what happened at the tomb are either inconsistent or can only be made consistent with the aid of implausible interpretations. And so, those were criticisms made by this guy Martin. What's his name? Dr. Michael Martin. And when this guy Craig is confronted with these, he says, Michael Martin is a philosopher, not a historian, and I don't think he understands the historian's craft. For a philosopher, if something is inconsistent, the law of contradiction says, this cannot be true, throw it out. However, the historian looks at these narratives and says, I see some inconsistencies, but I noticed something about them. They're all in the secondary details. Okay, it doesn't matter. If you're claiming this book is the Word of God, it can't have a single mistake. Period. So, I don't know where else to go from that. But this, again, we're not trying to prove that the Bible gives some historical facts. We're asking the question whether this book is the Word of God. One single inconsistency disproves inerrancy. It's as simple as that. So, sure, if we want to look at the Bible as a document that may give us some clues about what happened 2,000 years ago, sure, that's fine. And if you want to look at it and say, there's probably some good evidence that Jesus existed, okay, that's fine. But neither of those has anything to do with Jesus being divine or the Bible being divinely inspired. Simple as that. So, I don't know how you can look at that evidence and still think there's any divinity in it. But please, let me know if you do, because I don't see how anyone could come to that conclusion, given biblical contradictions. So, let me know what you think. Alright, talk to you guys later.